Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. I don't know if you know this, but it is a full moon this evening. So it is our snow moon. I tried to look up the meaning behind the snow moon, and maybe Ruth can fill us in more after class if there's some astrological meaning behind this moon. But mostly they just named it the snow moon because it's during where there's a lot of snow. Like it's a cold time. And we get to have a big, beautiful full moon. So on that note, my favorite intention for a full moon is always thinking and manifesting of what we want our life to look like or what we want in our life in this next chapter. Because I like to think of a cycle of a moon as like a cycle, but also, because I'm a writer and reader, a chapter in a book, right? We got another chapter ahead of us. And I think this putting intentional thought into what is next can be so helpful. And also, it's such a fun activity, right? It allows us to dream a little bit more than we might normally. So, we're going to start in a meditation today. And if you are comfortable, I recommend you try a seated meditation. I know it can be tempting to do recline, and if your body feels better reclined, you can do that. But if possible, try to bring yourself into a seat. All right. And then place your hands somewhere on your body. For a traditional seated meditation, you can maybe take a mudra, bringing your pointer finger and thumb together like this, and then the back of your hands to your knees if that feels comfortable. But if that feels a little weird, you're welcome to just put the hands on the knees for stability. And a reminder, you might be seated like this. That's okay too. You might have a pillow under your butt because we are going to be here for a little bit. I do want you to take the time to get comfortable. And there's this natural kind of moment where we wiggle a little bit and then come into stillness. If you haven't already, shut your eyes. Turning away from the noise, from the space around you, and really zooming in. First to the physical body by stabilizing and relaxing the body as much as you can, even though you're in a seat. And then bring your awareness to that space between your eyebrows, your third eye. This is a great focal point for when you're meditating. Sometimes our eyes tend to wander as our thoughts wander. So by keeping the third eye as the focal point, we really stick with the meditation. Take a breath in. Exhale slowly out your nose. And for the first part of the meditation, all I'll ask is this attempt to clear your mind. So anytime you notice a thought, try to bring it back to the space between your eyes, your third eye. And as a reminder, you might need to pull back the thoughts quite a few times. That's okay. That's normal. And let's begin. A reminder that if your thoughts have wandered, pull them back. Gaze at the third eye. Now I'm going to ask you to choose a word. And this word represents what you are bringing into your life in this next cycle of the moon. So you may choose peace, joy, patience, but there are a ton of other words out there. So one more time. First, allow your mind to empty. Try to think of nothing. Stare at your third eye. And then over the next minute or so, see what word or words float into your head and choose one of them. If you haven't gotten around to choosing a word yet, start to try to zoom in, focus in on this word. And then let that word begin to just sink into your body. So I know this is an abstract concept, but just imagine your body feeling this word from the crown of your head down to your toes. Start to embody the word now. Take a breath in. Exhale. Slowly blink your eyes open. You can lean back onto your butt, put your hands behind you, and maybe just straighten one leg and then the other. If you have your legs crossed, you might want to take the legs side to side, maybe roll the ankles back and forth just to bring a little bit of blood flow back into the legs. And then we'll meet in tabletop pose. So find your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And today in tabletop, make sure your toes are curled under. So curl the toes under and press them into the mat. And then once you're there, we will absolutely start moving through some cat and cow. So if you haven't already, you can start moving. The open invitation to add in different movements if you like. Remember, as you drop your belly, shoulders back, gaze forward, you'll take the inhale into cow. And then when you tuck your chin and round, pulling the belly button to the spine, you will come into cat as you exhale. Keep moving and breathing. And then take one more round, evening out what you've done on both sides. And we'll meet back in center. Once more, keeping those toes curled under. Now start to walk your fingertips by turning your hands out to the side of the mat. So you're going to make it so your fingertips point towards the side. If you feel this is a lot of pressure on the wrist, reminder you can come forwards and do it this way. It'll just be more pressure on the shoulders, more strength. See how much you can turn the hands. If that feels okay, and reminder, stop where you're going to stop, right? I'm going to go all of the options. You pick where you want to go. You can start to walk the fingertips by turning them back towards the knees. And then once more, putting pressure, maybe moving side to side, just to feel how your wrists feel in different directions, right? Then very slowly, let's walk the fingertips back towards the front, little by little, turning hands. until we come back into tabletop pose, fingertips pointing forward. Now look down at your fingers. Make sure that your pointer finger is pointing forward to the front of the mat, not your middle finger, which means you'll have some external rotation in the shoulders. That's fine. That's what we want when we move into down dog, even though we're not there yet. Now, curl the toes under, press them down into the mat, and start to almost lift your knees. Even though they're not going to lift, feel like you are trying to lift the knees by pushing your toes down into the mat as much as you can. Hold here. 3, 2, great work. 1, untuck the toes, tap the feet on the mat. And then I'm going to ask you to do that again. One more time. Curl the toes under. Push back. So you kind of push your butt backwards and then push the toes into the mat as much as you can. Like you're trying to push them through the floor. Option to slightly hover the knees this time and hold. 3, 2, 1. Great work. Untuck the toes. Inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back. Look forward, cow pose. Exhale, tuck the chin and round into cat. Inhale, come back forward into tabletop. Now walk your knees together. Shift your weight over into your right knee. Take your left knee and bring it towards your tricep. Hold here for a little bit. And then we're going to step that foot to the outside of the hand. Now, don't worry too much because I'm actually going to have you lift your left hand and then wiggle this foot to the inside. We're working with ankles today. Your ankles are very important. They keep you balanced. They keep you upright. So start to push your knee past your ankle. Instead of our standard stretch, we're going to think about pushing how far can I get my knee past my ankle until you start to feel a stretch on the back of the ankle. If you feel pinching in the front of the ankle, I want you to back off. And instead, you're going to do, by pushing the knee backwards, focus on stretching the right hip flexor. So 2 options. Option 1, which if you have the mobility, I'd like you to really focus how far can you press the knee past the ankle. Hold there, walking the hands forward. Use your chest to weight down that leg. If this isn't accessible for you, you're going to do the opposite by stretching into this hip flexor here. Yeah? Hold there. 3. And notice once you kind of surrender a bit more into that stretch by pushing the knee forward, how deep can you get? 2. Awesome work. 1. As you inhale, lift up, walk the hands backwards. Start to straighten the legs slightly. It doesn't have to be a ton. And then as you exhale, yes, now we're adding movement because it feels good. Walk the hands forward, sink down, push the knee past the ankle as far as you can get. Roll your shoulders back. Keep driving through this left heel. Inhale, straighten the leg. Any amount. Maybe you go full straighten, pull the left hip back. Exhale, you'll come forward. One more time. Come on back. Straighten. Breath in. Curl the toes back towards the face. You might have it slightly bent or all the way straight. And then walk your hands back to center. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Now, fun thing is we have to transition back to tabletop pose. So maybe you can try to push into the hands, round through your spine and lift your foot first. And then bring that knee back under the hip. Make sure your right knee comes to meet it. And we're going to move on to the opposite side. So switch your weight into your left leg. And then when you're ready, you're going to draw right knee into the tricep first. Just like you could be here for 15 minutes. Squeeze the foot towards the butt. 3, 2, and 1. Step to the foot to the outside of the hand and then lift that right hand up and wiggle the foot to the inside. Now, ideally, you're going to be pushing forward. See how far you can get the knee past the ankle. So you might have to shift that foot forward slightly to get there. You can use the weight of your chest to push the leg down more. My left ankle, I sprained my ankle like a year and a half ago and I have way less mobility. You might notice on one side you have more range, one side you have less. If this isn't accessible, if you have a plate in your ankle, because I know some people do, reminder that you're going to instead push this knee backwards on the left side, right? And you're just going to do a kind of our Anjaneyasana stretch by pushing the left hip flexor down. So the rest of you, if you don't have that limitation, should be here forward with me. Walk the hands forward. Push the right heel down into the ground. So really find the stretch in the back of the ankle. 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to move in and out of it. Okay, so on your inhale, you'll walk the hands back. Straighten this leg any amount. Maybe this first round, you don't straighten that much. You build, right? Exhale, your hands will come forward. Push the knee past the ankle as far as you can get it. Inhale, lift up, straighten. Maybe a little deeper this time. And exhale, crawl forward. Last time, lean back. Maybe you straighten all the way. If you're straightened, pull the right hip back as much as you can. Try to find the stretch in the hamstring. And then come forward once more. Bring the hands down under the shoulders. We're getting back to our tabletop pose. So maybe you round through the spine. Try to lift the foot up first. And then bring the knees back together. You might need to readjust to find yourself back in tabletop. Awesome work. Curl your toes under. Walk your hands back. Come to a seat on your heels. Everybody's favorite pose, broken toe pose. Today, we are going to push the toes down into the mat. Really think about like you're trying to press them down as much as you can. Option to do this from here, pressing the toes down with the hips up. You have two modes. If you have no limitations and this is just uncomfortable, then your butt better be on your heels and you better be just embracing the discomfort because that's what this is all about, right? Get a little uncomfortable to be more comfortable later. Hold where you are. Breathe deep. Push the toes down into the mat, almost like you're trying to lift yourself up using only your toes. Hold there. 3, 2, 1. Nice work, everybody. Come forward, tap the feet out on the mat, bring blood black on to the feet. And now you're going to come to a seat on your butt. You can just kick your butt around to the side and take a seat facing the front of your mat. Extend. Let's see. Now we'll take both legs out in front of you. So start with both legs extended out in front of you. I like to get everywhere with a little mindful movement, right? So that's how we're going to do it. Now, lift your left foot up off the ground and just hover it off the ground. Reminder, you could be hovering from here. If this is really hard, hover back here. If it's really easy, hover from here. Perfect. You're picking your hover. Now draw the knee up into the chest and then widen the knee out to the side. Find your nice little kind of figure 4 stretch. However, this isn't what we're doing today. I know it looks nice and you're like, oh, Madison, this would be fun. It would be fun if we're doing it, but we're not. Now, lift your right foot up. You might be leaning back or leaning forward. Lift it up. Squeeze. Perfect. Draw the knee up into the chest and then bring your hands behind your thigh. So this leg is really here for balance. Hands behind the thigh. Now, make very slow circles with your ankle. And when I say slow, normally I say this and like in class, people are like, and I'm like, that is like the fastest circle I've ever seen. So I want you to make it so slow that it's going to take about 30 seconds for you to take one full circle of your ankle. As you do this, try to get to the edge of the rotation in the entirety of your ankle, right? And if it clicks and clacks, you are human, just like me. Clacking is normal. There's nothing to be worried about as long as it is pain-free. Once you've done 1 or 2 circles, depending on your speed in one direction, you can flip to the opposite direction. Really mindful, mind-body connection. Zoom into your ankle and your foot. Try not to let your hip or your knee be involved in this movement. Great. Now, I give you permission, if you would like to be a little crazy, you can go a little faster. Roll the ankle out a bit faster. And just see how the ankle feels after we did a tiny bit of work on one side. Awesome. When's the last time you sent a bunch of your love to your ankles? Because today we're doing it. Great. Now, come back. Relax your foot. Squeeze your right leg. So I want you to fire up through the right leg already. So your right thigh is engaged. And then you're going to just release your hands. No hands. Awesome. Straighten your leg really slow. Slow as she goes. Straighten, hover the foot. And release. Great work. We need to switch outside. So take a breath in to prepare. Remember, hands could be back, or you could challenge yourself by being forward. It's going to be way harder because my knee's in the way here. Draw the knee up into the chest and then try to squeeze the foot into the chest. Very slowly extend left leg forward. Hover. And since we have more on this side, we're just going to release. Moving on, opposite side. Reach your right foot up. Lift the right foot up. Draw the knee into the chest. Squeeze in. And then bring the foot to the inside of the thigh. External rotation. Drop that into your figure 4. It's like a tease. We're here, but we're not here. Now, the fun part is find your level. Then lift your left foot up on your inhale. Try to make it fairly difficult as you lift. Squeeze in. Awesome. I see these feet lifting very slowly, 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 slowly. Draw the knee up into the chest And then once it's there, as high as you can get it, you can take the hands behind the thigh. Perfect. Now you may begin your very slow circle on this side. Maybe close your eyes as you do it and see if this ankle feels different than the other ankle. Is there a spot in the ankle that just kind of feels like there's a block there that doesn't allow you to rotate? And whatever you find, remember, not good, not bad, just is. Once you take in one or two, you can turn opposite direction, being as precise as possible. And then once you've done your slow work, you are welcome to be a bit of a maniac and take a bit of faster rotation. And maybe you're like, I don't even like being fast anymore, Madison. Great. If we got you there in one round, that's good too. All right. Come back to center. Take a breath in. Draw your left knee into your chest with the strength of your leg and your abdomen. Release your hands. Extend this leg forward. Easy does it. Little by little, straighten the leg. Maybe try to lean forward and make it more challenging as you hold the foot up. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Release down to the ground. Here we go. Inhale, draw the right knee up into the chest. Squeeze it in. Squeeze, lift the foot. Foot is off the ground. And then same concept, extend nice and slow. 3, 2, keep that foot lifted. Maybe lean forward a bit. 1. Good work. All right, inhale, lift your hands up to the sky. Lean backwards on your butt. Lean, but as you do this, pull your belly in. Okay, now you have two options. Option 1, just listen to me like this because you're doing core work, just hanging out. Option 1, you're going to take one knee and then the other knee and try and balance here with the hands behind the thighs. We're moving towards a version of both. Option 2, you're going to try to take both and bring them in. Now, right now, I'm asking you to round through your spine, and that's okay. Bring the hands behind the thighs. Let's everybody take the hands behind the thighs because I want you to feel rounding in the low back first. It's almost like you're trying to tuck yourself into a little ball. Then pull the knees into the chest as much as you can. Tuck yourself into a little ball. Maybe try to bring the feet as close to your butt as you can without them being on the ground. Hold. It's basically a bouncing ball. That's what we're going to call this pose that I just made up. 3, 2, okay, 1. Keep your feet and your knees where they are. Lift your hands up. Good control. Slowly lean forward. Put your feet on the ground and wrap your hands around your shins. Give yourself a little hug. Rock side to side. You can bow your head down towards the knees. Nice. Lift yourself back up. Now, with the hands on the shins, lean back and see how close you can get your feet to your butt. So see, by pulling the heels into the butt, use the strength of your arms to be like, how close can I get to my butt? Then, once you've gotten a little bit close, put your hands on the ground behind you. Keep rounding through the spine and try to push and lift your butt up off the ground a little bit, trying to notice we're pressing our knees past our ankles, any amount. So you might lift, hold, lift, and then come back down. One more time. Great work. Release your butt down to the ground. Hands come high. Extend the feet up. This time, legs will straighten and lower all the way down to your back, eventually finding yourself in a very brief Shavasana. Reach your legs long. Maybe take the hands above the head and stretch. All right. So now, hands come down by your sides. Push your belly button down towards the ground. So suck it in as you squeeze, pushing the low back down to the ground. Your core should be engaged. You can draw one leg or both legs up into the chest. Squeeze them in. First, wrap the hands around the shins. I know I never let you do this, but today you can. And try to make yourself into a little ball again. Maybe you can reach the hands towards the feet and pull the knees into the chest. Think about making a U shape with your spine. So from your tailbone to the tip of your head, lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Lift your chin or your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze down and in and hold here. Great. Now, slide the hands behind the thighs. You have two options. If this is rocking and rolling, if you do a lot of rocking and rolling with me and you like the hands behind the thighs, that's option 1. Option 2, maybe you try look mom no hands and you try to rock and roll without any hands using your feet a little bit behind the head to get momentum. Take a few of these as well. It's funny because I feel this in my core a bit more now. So your core should be supporting you. Continue rounding through the spine. 3, keep rocking. 2, all right. 1, rock up, plant your feet. Reach your hands forward. Then lean over onto one side and make your way to tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take the one handprint forward so the arms are already ready. Curl the toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. As a friendly reminder, if you can't do down dog, you can always do tabletop. And then check, because we have your hands set up properly. Look at your hands. Make sure that your fingertips are pointing forward. And not your middle finger, right? Slight rotation of the hands. Inhale. Exhale. If you know Ujjayi breath and you haven't started yet, you can begin by constricting the back of your throat slightly. If you're already there, fantastic. You started building heat. Now, let's walk the feet together. Toes almost touch. Legs are as close as you can comfortably get them. Bend into your knees. Look forward. Bend your knees as much as you can, but keep your butt high. Keep your butt as high in the sky as you can. Hold. 3, 2, great. And then 1, try keeping your knees together and walking yourself forward, but don't let your knees disconnect. You're going to have to bend into the knees eventually. You might be like, my knees are disconnected and there's nothing I can do about it. That's fine too. Once you get to the top of the mat, fold forward, separate your feet now, and just let your head hang heavy, Uttanasana. Let's take ragdoll, grab for your elbows, and sway side to side. Each time you sway, focus on stretching the outside of your back, right? All those muscles on your side body by leaning left, leaning right. Come back to center, release the hands down to the ground. Toe heel your feet together. Once more, toes touch with a little space between the heels. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. So remember, scapula retracts, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more time. Lift on up, squeeze. Exhale, melt. Inhale, sweep your arms wide, push yourself through a chair, nice and easy, all the way to standing. Reach high, look high. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by your side, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Come back to your intention. What is your word? Feel that word in your body now. And if you can't feel it yet and you're just, you know what the phrase is, fake it till you make it. Breath in. And a breath out. All right, our moon salutation today. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Bend in your knees, shift your weight over into your left leg, step your right foot back, low lunge. Now, today, because ankles, we're going to lean forward, push your knee past your ankle as much as you can get it. Maybe you walk the hands forward to support you. You should get really light on that back heel, back toe. All your weight is in your front leg. And then come back, align the knee with the ankle. Sink your right heel back slightly. Let's do that again. Inhale, lean forward, walk, walk, walk. How far can you get the knee past the ankle? Exhale, you'll bring it back. Our standard low lunge. One more time, because I love you. Walk the hands forward, knee past the ankle. Get light in that back foot. Just the toes are touching. And then come back to center. Knee in line with ankle. Before you even come up, pull your left hip back in space and then inhale, lift up, crescent pose, hands high. Take a little time to find your balance. This is my first time asking you to do that today. So if you feel wobbly, it's okay. We're a little wobbly. Sink down into the front knee. Inhale. Exhale. Again, breath in and out. Once more. Inhale, stay low. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame your foot. Bend into your back knee. 1, 2, couple steps. Step both feet together and fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hand, shift your weight over into your right leg, step your left leg back, nice and far. Now we do probably the best movement you've ever done in yoga. As you shift forward, walk your hands forward, press your knee past your ankle, get low. And then exhale, come back, standard low lunge. Inhale, walk the hands forward. How fast can your knee, or how far? Probably not too fast. Can you get your knee past your ankle? Exhale back, low lunge. Last time, come on forward, sink, lean, get light in that back toe, right? How light can you make that back leg? Front leg should really be working. And then come back to center, low lunge. Now's your time to shine. Pull your right hip back in space first, then inhale, lift up, crescent pose, round 2. Give yourself a little time to set up, find something in front of you that's not moving, your drishti, your point of focus, and then sink down into the pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Exhale. Sweep the hands down. Frame the foot. Look forward, and maybe you start to push that knee past the ankle a little bit for one big step into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend in your knees, plant your hands. I can't believe this is the first time we're doing this. Step back to plank or tabletop pose, and we're going to lower nice and easy down to the ground. Elbows move back. 4, 3, 2, to the belly. 1. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. No hands. Yeah, I see the hands. No hands. Exhale, stay. Okay, inhale, lift higher. No hands. Exhale, stay. You can do this. Inhale, lift up, squeeze. Exhale, lower down, hands come to the mat. Curl the toes under. Option 1, tabletop. Option 2, plank as you push up and back. Downward facing dog or tabletop for a breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, look forward. Bend in your knees. Really big bend. Try to tilt your tailbone up to the sky. And then walk slowly to the top of the mat, trying to keep your weight in your toes as you do this until you get to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Head is heavy. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose. Okay. It's funny, even as I cued this, I was feeling resistance to this pose. I was like, oh man, we got to do chair now. So bring your hands to your knees. First, round and tuck the spine. So make your spine as round as you can. Tuck your chin and look down towards your pelvis. Keep the bend in the knees. As you inhale, now we'll move through our cow variation. Belly comes forward, shoulders back, chest forward, gaze up. As much as it's comfortable if you're in your neck. Exhale, tuck and round. Maybe you can begin rounding at the tailbone. Inhale, belly forward. Don't straighten those legs. You don't need to. I know it seems like it. Cow version. And then exhale, tuck. One more. Chin to chest. Inhale, forward. Reach the hands up. Come to standing, reach them to the sky and say, oh, my legs. Hands by your sides. Close your eyes, Tadasana. Come back to your word. As your body starts to be warmer, Imagine the physical body embracing this idea. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down on the ground. Shift your weight over into your left foot. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Only one time this time. Push your knee past your ankle. Get light in your back toe. See how forward you can reach your hands. Maybe even try to hover the back toe. That's for if you're feeling chaotic today. And then walk the hands back, lower the foot, coming back to your low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose, hands high. Find your balance. And then bring your hands to the top of your knee. And we're going to take like a little basket. So make a like basket with your hands. Hopefully you can see that there. And then bring that to the top of the knee. Sink down until your hands feel like they're kind of comfortable on the knee. Perfect. And then same thing, we're going to move the spine here. So tuck and round. Notice how hard it is to tuck and round in this pose, mostly because we're using it as a back bend. Now, keep tucking and rounding. Bend into your back knee. And see if you can get more rounding with the knee bent. All right, inhale, straighten the leg as much as you like. Roll the shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, tuck and round. Bend in the back knee. Inhale, straighten. Chest forward. All right, as you exhale, come back to neutral. Reach the hands high. So just kind of wiggle the hips. Where's neutral for you? And then exhale, warrior two. Spin the back heel down. Find your warrior two. And set up. All right. Because we're working on things today. Make your stance a little shallow. So wiggle your back foot in, just one wiggle. It's going to straighten this front knee a little bit. That's okay. Take a breath in. Extend the arms. And then exhale, lean forward. Lean as much as you can, like you're reaching for something past that knee. Put all the weight in your front leg. All the weight you can get. Really light in the back leg. Hold deep in warrior two. See if you can get lower. Push the knee past the ankle. How far can you sink the hips down? 3, 2, this is terrible. 1, push up, warrior two. Oh, if you're like me, we're going to straighten the leg. Great. Let's take triangle pose. Bump the hip back. Lean forward. Reminder, you could have a hand here, triangle, here, or hand to a block. Maybe, if you want, fingers to the big toe as you rotate and open. Breath in. Breath out. Keep lifting up through the side body. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Breath in. And exhale back, warrior two. Extend the arms. We're going to do it one more time. Once more. So wiggle the back foot in slightly if you've reset. If you haven't, you should be exactly where you need to be. Lean the hands forward, or the hand, I should say. Your left hand is going to reach, bend into the knee. How low can you get the hips? How much can you get the knee past the ankle comfortably? Hold. I don't even know what this is. What do we call this pose? You can tell me later. We can name it together. 3, 2. Okay, slowly press up. Warrior two. 1. Reach. Exhale. Sweep the hands down. Lift the back heel off the mat. Push into the hands and step back to plank or tabletop pose. We'll lower slow. 4, 3, 2, to your belly. 1. Inhale, lift up. This time, if you want to put your hands on the mat and take cobra, a little bit of weight in the hands. Open through the front of the belly, shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under. Option 1, tabletop. Option 2, plank. If you're doing plank, lift the knees first, then push up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Bend in your knees. Lift your tailbone to the sky. Look forward and walk yourself to the top of the mat on your toes as much as you can. And fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. What we did on one side, we must do on the other. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, shift your weight over into your left foot, step your right foot back. Is that the right leg? I'm going to know real soon. I think it's the other leg. Oh, man. Yeah. Step your left foot back, right leg forward. I'm pretty sure, or we might all be really suffering. Right leg forward. Okay. Once you're here, we have one round of leaning forward. Push the knee past the ankle. And exhale back, low lunge. Power up in the legs. Inhale, come up. Crescent pose. Yeah. That's me affirming that we're on the correct leg. Okay. Now we make a little basket. Find your basket with your hands. And then bring the basket to the knee. Sink down until the hands can rest as comfortably as possible on the knee. And now we're just going to move through two big dramatic variations of our cat and cow in crescent. So bend in your back knee, tuck your pelvis, come into cat. As you exhale, tuck the chin, look towards the pelvis, squeeze. Think about pulling your left knee forwards towards the front of the mat. And then inhale, straighten the leg, pop your booty out, roll your shoulders back, chest forward, open the throat, maybe gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck, round, bend into the left knee, tuck your chin. Inhale, shoulders back, lean forward, heart open to the sky. Last time, you can do it. Exhale, tuck the chin, bend in the back knee, weight in the hands. Inhale, forward, shoulders back. You can do this. Look up. Okay, exhale back to center. Lean up, reach up, I should say. And then you can take your exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel down and set up for warrior two. Okay. Once you've got your warrior two, find your standard warrior two first. Extend through the arms. Find your drishti, your point of focus, nice and strong. And then wiggle the back foot in. And now just start to lean forward, pushing that knee past the ankle as far as you can get it. As a reminder, it might not look that much different than your regular warrior two. It might look exactly the same. If you can, see how low you can go as you try to reach, like I'm in front of you, pulling your hand, being like, come here, come towards me. 3, 2, oh my gosh, 1, push up, warrior two. And then straighten the leg. Say hallelujah to triangle pose. Bump the hip back. Option 1, here. Option 2, here. Option 3 could come down to here. You might have a block. Might grab for the big toe, whatever you choose. Rotate through your side body as you reach up and look up. Think about lifting through the right side of your body, right? So we're not collapsing. Breath in. And a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Okay, exhale, bend in the knee. Set back up for warrior two. If you widen your stance for triangle, wiggle the foot back in. So we're in kind of that shorter warrior two. That will allow us to think about pushing the knee past the ankle a little bit. Reach the arms, find your depth. How far can you get the knee past the ankle? And the pro tip is to lean the torso forward. So it's not just the knee, right? If the torso leans, the rest of the body will lean and you'll get lower. Hold here. 3, 2, and here we go. 1, everybody up. Warrior two. Exhale. Take a breath in. Exhale, sweep the hands down. Frame the foot, lift the back heel off the mat. 1 big, beautiful step forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, take your arms wide, push yourself through chair, reach high, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by your side, Tadasana, come back to your word. What word did you choose? Now that you can hopefully feel a little heat in the body, feel your heartbeat and your breath. What would it feel like for you to embody this idea through this next phase of the moon? How would you feel mentally? How would you feel physically? Inhale. Exhale. Eyes open. Inhale, sweep up, look up. And exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank or tabletop. This is the last time we do this today, so let's lower slow if you're in the mood. Otherwise, just come to your belly. 4, 3, 2, to the ground, 1. Inhale, take a back bend of your choice. So any back bend is an option. Up dog, cobra, maybe a little sphinx. A sphinx is nice, right? And let's stay for an extra breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands by your sides. Push yourself up to tabletop or plank, up to you. And then we're coming down to a seat on our butt. So try to find your way there without using your hands. Maybe you can take a seat on the heels. Push the hips around. Extend the legs forward. Okay, so we've got 2 things that I'd like to try today. Round 1 is just for fun. So if you've done these rock and rolling back and forths with me enough, you might know where we're already going. If not, I'm going to show you right now. Here's the trick to even being able to do this is when you rock and roll, can you focus on when you hit this point, right? When you're about this high up, think about pushing the feet towards the butt. So the action is going to look like this. For most of us, you will roll back, hands and the legs, and then come up and try to get the feet as close as you can to the butt and squeeze the chest in here. So this is option 1. And it might seem strange, but it'll actually take quite a bit of work. So you could do hands here, hands here. Let's all give it a try together first. So just take 1 or 2 rounds of this version and think about stamping the feet down and in towards the hips. Roll back and then come forward. Try to get them as close as possible. Lean the chest to the knees. Great. Try it again. Lean back and try to bring the chest in to the knees. Awesome. So, round 2. We are going to do the same sensation. You could try it again without your hands. So, you'll lean back, kick the feet up, feet towards the butt, and try to reach the hands forward. Like I'm in front of you and I'm like, come here, come hang out with me, right? Like I'm extending. Yeah, let's all give that a shot. You can roll back and then come forward, reach the arms as far forward as you can. Like I'm trying to grab onto the hands. Nice work. Okay, so the last little bit requires more momentum and a ton of ankle flexion. The last version, you'll still have the hands forward. You roll back, bring the feet forward, stamp the feet, and then try to lean forward and come into Uttanasana, forward fold. If you find you really get a little bit of airtime, right, you might just be like, oh, see if you can just hover the butt for a second. And if you have done this successfully, do it a couple times. Laugh about this, play with it, because it's kind of fun, right? And then bonus points, if you can come up and sit your butt back down and come down. Take a few more rounds. You all look very cute, rocking and rolling. As like I said, a reminder to just chuckle because this is seriously ridiculous. And it requires the main thing, tons of hip flexion, tons of ankle flexion. So if this isn't accessible to you right now, don't worry, it's wild. It's a crazy thing that we're working on. All I care about is that focus in the ankle. So once you are done and you've had enough, some people are still going, so you keep going. I'm going to tell everybody where we're going after. If you're still rocking and rolling, you can try one more version. We're going to come to the knees, so take your hands to the chest. Come to tabletop pose without using your hands and bring them down to the mat. Then curl your toes under. Sit back on your heels, hands come to the hips. Great. Then lift the hips up off the mat. Hands come to the low back. Push the hips forward. So by doing this, you're actually tucking the pelvis a little bit, right? Think about tucking the pelvis, pushing the hips forward. Roll the shoulders back, open the throat. Camel pose. Now, if you hate this pose, just know you're in good company. A lot of people hate this pose. Push the heel of the hand into the low back to hold and balance. 3, 2, 1. Hands or hips come down to the heels. Release the hands and bring them by your sides. Now we're going to move through a variation of two different poses. That's been kind of our theme today, right? It's like our accordion of our spine. Bring your hands towards your heels. So if you can, reach around, toes are still tucked under as much as you can. And we're going to move into rabbit pose. So roll your shoulders forward and just try to round down while keeping your hands either connected to the heels or maybe your glutes. Think about rounding. Eventually you'll try to put close to the crown of the head on the mat as you pull the feet into the hands into the feet, and expand through the shoulder blades. Hold here for a few breaths. Reminder, if you're not here, you might be here, right? Rolling in, maybe you're here. All I care about is that U shape of the spine. 3, 2, 1. Very slowly lift yourself back up. All right. Now we put it all together in the funniest way. So, option 1, take a look at me. Don't do it yet. I'm going to show you the 2 options and then you can assess how you want to do it. So, option 1, you're going to have hands to the hips, bring them to the low back. You'll do breath in, open to camel. As you exhale, slide your hands down your butt and be like, oh my gosh, I have a great butt. Reach for the heels or stay here and round into rabbit, right? So that's the first variation is this. And then you'll come back up, lift the hands, slide them back up your butt. Hands come to the back of your body, open the heart, right? That's round 1. I'm going to show the second version just because I really like it. So version 2, your hands will remain on the heels. If you have a really deep back bend and you're used to this, you'll roll shoulders back, push the chest forward, inhale, you'll lift the hips up, camel pose. And then exhale, you'll tuck the chin and round into rabbit while keeping the hands on the heels the entire time. So 2 versions, right? Let's take it together. Starting in your camel. Whatever you've chosen, find your way there. Inhale, we'll reach the heart up. And then exhale, when you're ready, you'll slide down into your rabbit pose. I'd like you to take 3 rounds. So I'm going to keep an eye on you. 3 rounds, move with the breath, nice and easy. And think about expanding when you get up into camel, opening the heart and chest. Really opening our heart, right? Opening your heart to the next chapter, to newness. And then as you exhale, you'll tuck and round and integrate into the body. Nice work, everyone. Keep going. Perfect. And let's take 1 more round, I think. You will end with your rabbit. And then inhale when you're ready. No rush. You'll just lift yourself back up and you're going to make your way down to lying on your back. You could try to do that without any hands at all. You might try it. I don't know. Just a suggestion. I'm not telling you you have to. I know you're tired. If you want, you can just flop down. Now is the time to get comfortable. We're not going to Shavasana yet, but if you would like to put on socks for Shavasana or anything like that, we're going to just do 2 cozy stretches and then move into our resting posture where we integrate into this new cycle. So come down to your back. And then we haven't done a lot of twisting today, right? We moved the spine in extension and flexion, but not twist. So once you're there, you can either take 2 knees at 90, arms to a T, and drop them over to the left side. Gaze to the right if it feels comfortable. Or you might take one leg over the other and crisscross and bring the knees over to the side. Gaze to the right. 2 options. I think the knees together by themselves just feels really nice. So allow the body to now slow down. Whatever muscles were engaged to help you as we move through those poses, let them surrender. And then even if your eyes, well, actually, an invitation to close your eyes and gaze at the third eye. Encouraging the focus through the end of class, right? Your mind doesn't need to be anywhere else aside from right here with me. When you're ready, maybe keep your eyes closed, transition back through center. Even the hips out, so maybe bring the knees to the chest briefly, just to make sure hips are even on the mat, and then you can twist over to the right side. I say take your gaze to your left, but really your head is to your left. Your gaze is, again, with eyes closed at the third eye. Don't let your mind wander. Where can you relax your body? Focus, laser focus on that third eye. When you feel like both sides have had the same amount of time, you can come back to center. Make your way towards perhaps a happy baby. If you would like, you are also welcome, especially because your spine is really warmed up today. You can move into plow pose by pressing the hands down onto the mat by your sides. Feet would be up to the ceiling, and instead of rocking and rolling forward, right, you gently rock and roll back, but make sure do not turn your head left or right if you're trying this. Your gaze needs to be straight upwards, or you could really hurt your neck. So only try this if it feels comfortable and accessible on the way down from your practice, right? No ego. If you're in happy baby, you might rock side to side, feet in the hands. Those of you in plow are welcome to, after a time, if you would like to transition into a brief shoulder stand before coming down, you can do that too. But that's not our intention today. So again, what's making you feel prepared for your Shavasana? Take about the next, let's say, minute or so to finish up what you are doing. If there's anything else you would like, any movement you need, any blanket or pillow, you want to shut the lights off, that's fine too. About 30 more seconds. And then once you're in Shavasana, let's take two hands over the heart. I'd like you to imagine that word that you've chosen is written on a piece of paper under your hands. And you're pressing it down into your heart center. And as you do this, your physical body first starts to embrace this word. And then notice as you move from the physical body into the mind, right? Are there any resistances or blockages that are like, oh, I don't know if I can do this next cycle? Whatever you're feeling, whether it's an open embrace, a little unsure, as you breathe in, think the mantra, I can. As you exhale, think the mantra, I will. We'll stick with this mantra for 5 more breaths. Inhaling, I can. Exhaling, I will. Take it at your own pace of breath now for the last 3 rounds. And then when you're finished, you can release your hands down by your sides and move into your Shavasana. All right, my lovely friends, if you would like to stay in Shavasana, please just stay. But if you are ready to move into this new cycle, new intention, you can begin with just a full breath in and a big sigh out. Reawaken your body with your fingers and your toes. And then gradually allow those movements to get larger. You can move through your wrists, those lovely ankles of yours. And eventually you maybe stretch your hands up over your head, taking a big morning stretch. Point the toes for the second time today. And then bring your knees towards your chest. When you are ready, roll into a fetal pose and press yourself on up to a comfortable meditation facing any direction you want. You're at home. Once you're there, take two hands over the heart today. Let's all go over the heart since this really sticks with that intention, right? And that paper might not be there, but the word is still written on your heart, right? It's still there, resonating through your body. Take a breath in. Exhale, bow your chin to seal your practice. And then when you're ready to rock, lift your head back up, open your eyes. Thank you all. Fantastic work today. It was a pleasure watching you move. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you get a peek at the full moon tonight. I can already see we've got clear skies, so hopefully I'll get to see it. Otherwise, I will see you next week for the Sunday Sweat Club, and we will talk soon. Thanks all.